Do this.
Oh my God! Is what you
Go ahead,
say?
Shelowann.
No, you're not.
Hi everybody, I'm Shelowann, a piece of Herbalist Mediumship School.
Hi, I'm Jeanette from Joyful Jeanette.
And I'm Adele Marie of Angelic Wise Ones, and welcome to Girl Talk
Welcome
and
to
Spirit
Girl
Talk
Talk.
Time.
I can't believe you said that.
Everybody.
This is where we can let loose some and everything else like that, because Jeanette was over here just talking about, like,
That's right.
you don't
I
need
was.
somebody to rescue
And
you.
then
Right,
Linda
I said it.
Linda
Linda
did
pipes
what?
in, I do.
Yeah, we heard that.
I do.
You need somebody to come rescue you?
No. Well, wait a minute.
Don't lie now.
Rescue.
What kind of rescue are we
Let's find
talking
out
about?
Level.
What level of rescue?
Yeah.
Very good, because
That's a good.
people put out a rescue me energy, and there's a couple of different levels of rescue me. There's emotional, right? There's sexual.
Financial.
There's financial, you know, spiritually.
Back up. Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
Some of those.
But yes, I will sit there and say a lot of people are more financially trying to be rescued than anything else, you know?
Yeah.
And stuff. Right. Is that what you're saying?
I'm like saying pretty much who wouldn't. Pretty much that's out there. Pretty much strong. I think.
Have you? Aren't there apps? Are they like? What are they called? Sugar daddy, sugar mamas, or
No,
something?
really?
SugarDaddy.com.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised.
Oh, there's.
There is. I think
Is
there
all
is a
that-
SugarDaddy.com.
Girls can
Where's the
link
phone?
up
Look
with
that
rich.
up.
Girls can link up with rich men,
Right.
and get paid for stuff.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's- not on my
Look that
thinking
up.
list.
Okay. Hey, but there's another one too that Brooke and I were talking about. I was going to tell you guys later. It's people with
Oh Lord.
people with
Fetishes.
well, fetishes.
Fetishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, what if
you
somebody
say-
has a
you get ready to
hand?
say feet, they
What
want-
if somebody
I
has a
thought she was
hand
gonna say
fetish,
feet, too.
right?
Yeah.
And
they-
stuff. You know,
they
they
just wanna
they
massage
just they
and
just
stuff.
want to
Kiss
like
and stuff.
yes, hands. It's about the hands.
La, la,
You
la.
know, just like you know, guys are either what do they say, a leg man or a boob man.
Yeah.
Right, you know, maybe a butt man, you know,
Yeah.
stuff.
They do say that.
Very seldom will they say I'm an eye smiling fan,
I
you know,
don't
man.
think
it's
ever,
usually
never
boobs
heard
or
that.
thighs
or butt.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So, you wouldn't mind being rescued?
Rescued?
Yeah.
Well, no. I said
What
no.
did she ask
I
her?
said
What
no.
rescue?
Look,
Yeah,
she's
what
like-
rescue? Wait a minute. No, this is I'm on deck here now. I gotta
Right.
like.
Yes.
I don't want. I'll
What
put it
type
down-
of rescue?
Wait, this is no. I'm not gonna answer the question. You know I'm not
why?
gonna answer it. I don't want to be on a
Ask
plank.
for
I don't want to be on a plank
specifics.
again. And jumping off the plank, because that apparently is what my guide said. Like they watched me walk off the plank the last time, and I'm not doing it again.
Right, because she does not want to get personal. And guess what? I don't give a
Who said you don't? Who said you walk off a plank?
Right.
They did one time. No, they said they watched. They were right there the whole time while you watched off the plank.
That's when we were talking about toys.
Oh.
no,
Yes.
that wasn't about
Yes, it
that.
was.
No,
Yes,
What was it
Yes,
about
it
then,
was.
Jeanette?
It was about my last relationship.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
You didn't walk off no plank
I
when
know,
we were
I'm like-
talking about your last
That was,
relationship.
no, it wasn't in this. It was a long.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
oh,
it wasn't
no,
on
it wasn't
here.
on the show. It was a
Right.
message a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
No, and that goes back to boats
That's
again.
helpful.
That's kind of funny. Never. You know what? I was trying to put. Never mind.
Okay, so, but you wouldn't mind being rescued, is what she said. Linda said that she wouldn't mind, right?
Yeah, on some degrees.
It
Right.
depends on what you mean by rescue.
Not everything.
Well,
Not
what do you think it
Okay,
means?
on sometimes I feel like that. Yeah, I do sometimes because I do sometimes.
Would it be rescue
I'm
you
thinking
to
you-
come in and sit
Take
there
care of
and
you.
take care of you and dance around, you know, just grab you and just start dancing and, you know, wine and dine you?
Plump up that
Ding,
bank
ding,
account. Pay for everything.
I think,
I don't like
you know,
the word
I think a
rescue.
lot
I
of
gotta be
ladies
honest. I don't
would
like-
like
what do
to
you
somebody
define it
come
as?
sweep them off their feet.
No, okay.
Now,
that-
sweeping off the feet is better.
That's romantic.
Yes.
I like that.
Rescue?
Yeah,
Yes.
the rescue word I
Yes.
don't
I ain't
like.
feeling
That
that.
I like.
I don't. Yeah, I like that.
I don't need to be rescued. I don't need to be rescued emotionally,
really don't, no.
mentally, financially, spiritually, sexually, like all that stuff. I don't need to be, you know, rescued in those ways.
Yeah. Now, if you want to be swept off your feet,
Swept off my feet.
you
I
gotta
would
make sure
love.
that he catches you when you're
Right. Right.
And I think a man that can dance is so sexy.
Oh, yeah, he better
know
how to
That
dance.
Can dance and lead.
Mm-hmm.
You better have some rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to like.
I need a
put
dance
chord.
partner.
If he can do that, he has some.
I need
Okay.
a dance
But if you
partner.
talk about the let's just like the
Yeah.
rescue word, like rescue to me
girl.
would be at this point. I would be. You would be
She
taking
missed
care. Of, what?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
was
she
a good
did.
one, too.
Yeah, because she's still over here in that one area. And that's in. Like
Sorry.
she missed the whole thing going on
Sorry.
here.
And
Okay,
I like
but-
checked out from that and checked in.
I know.
Okay, sorry.
I'm back.
Okay, so go ahead. We'll,
No, I just
we'll,
want to
like-
clarify. No, I don't like the word rescue at this point in my life. No, because I don't want somebody to come in and take over and be control. And to me, that's a more in that way. It's like it would be like you coming in and fixing everything or helping everything.
Well, it's
else.
saying
And
you can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I'm not wording it
I would
right.
like to know what is your definition of that then?
What? The rescue? Or
Being swept off your feet.
I
Put
like
it
that.
way.
But see, I that's fine with me. Like, come in and, yes, romance. And so I don't want to get into I can't make it through life and you have to come in and solve all my problems.
Right.
Romance. Okay.
Romance, yes.
Well, yeah, because mine
good
is like on
food.
equal footing.
Companionship. Come together.
Coming
have
in, but it has to be equal
share.
footing.
Yes.
Yes, when you're coming in.
Share your life
I
together.
don't want to rescue anybody.
No.
No.
Been there, done that.
Yep. I'm not going to rescue
I
anybody.
can recognize that.
Come be my
10
client.
miles away.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay, but come be my client. I'm going to help you that way, and stuff. And that's what a lot of ladies make the mistake, especially spiritual ladies.
Yes,
we're in this
we do.
commodity as healers, and everything, and they start dating someone, and I know we have said this before. They start dating someone, and next thing you know, that person is like they need help over here, and they're crying on the shoulder over there, and can you do this for me or that for me? And that's not an equal partner. That's now your client.
Yeah.
That's the category of your client. They're going to
Fix
always be your
them.
client from that moment on.
Right.
Yes, that's how I feel about that. So they have to come in on equal footing and, sweep me off my feet. Because you sweep me off my feet by whining, dining, being nice, whatever it may be, I'm going to do the same to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit there and make you feel like you're special also.
Oh, heck yeah.
And automatically want to do
Did
that.
you see how she do that again?
I know, I saw that.
Let's do this in slow-mo.
Right?
Oh,
Heck yeah. I'm going to add
Heck
something to
yeah.
that.
Right,
I like the way you talk like that.
right.
We're on the same page at this moment.
Oh,
Stop.
Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh.
How many times
All right.
have you guys rescued somebody?
Too many times. I can't count.
Too many times, right?
Yeah.
But what was the lesson learned with that? Or like, how long did you keep rescuing them? How long did it last? Did it last a couple weeks, couple months, couple years?
Years.
Yeah,
Right.
all different.
Yeah, all different levels.
Until I started having my spiritual awakening, that's when it started changing.
Okay,
Because it was just I
It
didn't.
goes
I
back.
because
didn't.
you
I
put
didn't-
yourself first.
Yeah, and I didn't even recognize it when that was happening. I didn't know. It was
Right.
just a natural thing, being
Yes,
a woman
it's a
and a
natural thing.
nurturer,
Nurturing.
Yes.
and just giving to the person first, putting them
Right.
first before myself.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
It
that.
feels like a
until-
responsibility of
I
who
didn't
we
realize
are.
it until
Right.
later.
Yeah.
But
So
then
you
I-
actually were raising a child without realizing you were raising a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Because we always raise them anyway. But what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Nope. Not, I was just...
You're good with that one.
No, I was saying that but it almost felt like, to me, it was like a responsibility. That is what we were supposed to do. That's exactly what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Like it felt natural, but it also felt exactly like this is what you're supposed to do. And
Right.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to do.
I always felt like
So-
a grounder.
See, I don't
All
know
the
if it would
time.
be responsibility though, because
Yeah, I did
you're
feel like
meeting
that.
someone, you're getting in a relationship, and that person all of a sudden has an issue and stuff, and you're like, okay, well, all right, and you're interacting,
Right.
and you're learning the relationship, and you're learning that person. So that's not me sitting here thinking it's a responsibility, and I'm a mom and everything else, but I think it's just natural.
Natural, yeah.
That we just sit there and just start bringing it in and saying, okay, well, we can do this and da-da-da. Next thing you know, you're doing it all and they're sitting there, in a chair like, bring me a sandwich.
That's why,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
That's
know?
why I said
Yeah,
I didn't.
it's a dance that starts, but
didn't
I
even
guess
know.
when I say maybe that's the way it felt eventually. Like
Eventually, it
Like-
probably like,
Because it
Yeah.
felt like a job after a while,
Right.
probably.
yeah, but it
Yes.
still felt,
Yes.
but back then it still eventually did feel like. But that's what this is what my
Your role.
in this life is. Oh well, this is what I'm supposed to do. That is exactly what it ended up feeling.
but was
like.
that with the relationship or was that in your marriage? Because they're two different things.
Yeah, I was going to say that because
It really is two different things. When you're in a relationship, like I said, all relationships
start
start
out
out the
that
same.
way, but
But
yeah.
then, you either step beyond and get married or you sit there and get to the point where you're just constantly together and then it's like, yeah, this shit ain't working.
ain't working.
Okay? Yeah, this just
see you
not
later,
working.
bye.
Yeah.
So you're relating it to, in the marriage, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it probably did start that way in one way, in a mild way, and I didn't
Right.
realize it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's natural to be helpful and nurturing
It
or
is.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't start out as a responsibility. It starts
No,
out
but
as
I don't mean it in a negative way when I say that.
Right.
You think I'm not saying it in I'm saying it as, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna like it was like it's an honorable thing. Like you're supposed to do it. Like
Your
this
duties
is what,
as a wife.
as being on. This,
But that's also generational.
okay. Well,
That's
maybe that was part of
generational
it
because
too.
generational.
Like it's put in our like
you
you're
know,
supposed to get that done.
Well,
do it
it's certain.
that
You
way.
know, look, it's generational. Some people were raised, you know, eons ago that this is how you do it, and this is, you know, when you find a partner, you know, a loved one or, you know, a potential spouse and stuff, this is what you're going to do. And you're going to take them underneath your wing, and, you know, because you got to be the good girl, and you got to show them that you're wife material and everything else like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's one generation.
Yeah.
Right? Because the generation also sits there and says, you know, you find somebody, you get married, you have kids, you know, you do that whole thing like that.
Yeah.
Right? Then the next generation will sit there and say, well, wait a minute, man, like, you don't actually have to get married right away. Like, you can go ahead and you can get your job.
I missed that
you know,
one.
You can live together, you know, and stuff. So in each generation, you know, we, as women, we get stronger to know, well, wait a minute, what they told us back there, they don't got to do that, you know. And yes, there was a point in time when women only had a few choices. We had, you can be a secretary, you could be a housewife, you could be a cosmetologist,
Or a teacher.
or a teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nurse?
A nurse.
Nurse, yeah.
Right. It wasn't a whole lot. You know, they didn't really shove you or push you. Your parents really had to be, you know, out of the box to sit there and say, sweetie, you go ahead and be an astronaut. You know, you go ahead and be a
True,
congresswoman and stuff, right? So, but with each generation, and I know, you know, my generation, that's what it was. But even though I was being told you can go do anything, well, what else is there to do? Because this is what you're really pushing on me right now. So yes.
Yeah.
So then you have to prove as a woman that you can do all those things. So you naturally take that person under your wings, and then it's your responsibility because now you're doing all of it. Because the women before you did all of it, so now you're going to sit there and do all of it. You know, to show that you can do it too, because you still got them women watching you.
It's interesting in my family though. It wasn't like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And they were really old
Generation,
school. They were really old school in their belief structure about men.
Yeah.
It was, as long as he's bringing home that paycheck, you put up with him.
That's what that is.
I never.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what you do because
Yeah.
you take them underneath your wing. You do all of it. You show you can. You know, you're a good wife and
And
stuff.
my grandma always said that.
What?
As long
Yes.
as he's bringing home that
On
paycheck,
he can do whatever he wants.
And I used to look, just observe, you know, different relationships in the family, especially with the, you know, the women, like my aunts and stuff. And I just used to just marvel because I would not put up with that.
And you know the thing is, I bet you were seeing them when the men weren't around.
Yes.
And seeing how strong they were, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
with stuff that they would say
Yeah,
and
yeah,
do.
yeah.
And then as soon as those men come in, they were like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So women now, they know, my girls know, look, you can do anything in life. You don't have to ever get married. You don't take any crap off of any, you know, somebody that you know, are falling in love with. And that goes for all around, whether it's a guy, it's a girl, you know, what else, and stuff.
I am glad that my daughters they can be on their own and they're on their own and for them because it's like, different from and that's what you look for, you know.
Right.
They're not kind of started the way I did. I'll put it that way. I'm happy for them.
Which is being that.
I didn't have
mom.
that. I didn't have that. Going to college, get a degree, start off, and you know they're independent. They're living on their own. They can start somewhere and then go somewhere else, and they don't have to rely on someone else to.
Like that, you were told that yes, you sit there and you set the home.
This is what I remember.
And he sits there and brings.
He's
the
an
bacon.
accountant. He's always going to take care of you. Everybody, you know, I just remember hearing that, like, oh, that's a good, you know, like he was a good catch. Like he's going to take care of you, and that was I'm like, oh, okay. And everybody that I went out with before that wasn't really believable. I'll put it that way. It was like, okay, Jeanette, you know, whatever, you know.
Right.
But when he came along, it was a different story because he wore a suit.
Because now they're sitting there saying you better catch that.
And
one.
he had it together, and he did in one way, I guess. But he was finishing school. He had an education. He was going to be somebody. You know, it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right. So he's going to take care of you.
Yes, and on one hand, from family, well, I'll give them the defense of this. They want you to be taken care of because they love you. So they're not really all in the, you know, they're not trying to do it in a negative way. They love you. They want you to be.
But what it is, it's generational thing that was placed upon you,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. So yes, our loved ones and our parents always wanted us to do better. Yeah, everybody's heard that. I want you to be better.
Yeah.
Have things that I didn't have. I want you to do better than what I did. But then when you sit there and look at it and say, well, what was wrong with you? Really, what was so wrong with you that I have to do better?
I never heard that.
Right.
I think my mother kept that to herself.
They never
probably
said
thought
that to you?
Mm-mm.
Like, go out and, I want you to have things that I didn't have. I want you to do things that I didn't do.
Never.
Wow.
Never.
But yeah, I remember hearing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I would sit there and look and go, well, what's so bad about this? Like,
That's a good point.
you guys
yeah.
you've been married all this time. Like, you have a roof over your head. You have all these children. We're all healthy and stuff. We're not starving. You were hungry. We're not starving, And look, with 6 brothers, you're always hungry, okay? I think that still goes
right.
over to the day and why I'm such a foodie and I'm just like, give me my food and let me like have fun with it, okay? Because they're not around to steal it off my plate.
Wow.
Right? Or, but I'm the first one that will sit there and give you my food when I know that you really are hungry and stuff. But you do that automatically with your kids and stuff, right? She's like, yeah.
But it is a good point to bring that up. I've thought about that before, and I don't really have an answer for it. Like, what was wrong with who you are and who you're raising? Why do you keep trying to make us all something different? And now our kids are, because I thought about this when they were in school, they're all killing themselves going through school. But you want everybody to learn more, to grow more, to evolve more. But also look at all the stress that's upon everybody.
Well, I remember at a certain point in time, like I would look at my kids and I'd be like, I just need you to like get out of this system here and do better than what I did and stuff. And then it was my kids that taught me, but hey, we're happy like right where we are. It doesn't mean that we're not going to stop, but we are very happy where we are, and from that moment on, I never said it to them again because then it's, okay, it's your life. You go do it, and stuff.
Not for me. I'm joking.
But and I've been very blessed with them. I've got some great kids. So yeah, you're the best. Lord, and she told my dad. She told my dad she's his favorite, right? And I said, you better not let your sister Tommy hear that.
Uh-oh.
Because that's his girl. But she hasn't been around for a while and stuff because she's been working really hard. And when they get engaged, they sit there and all of a sudden now they got a bigger game plan, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they got to save up
plans
and they're looking at venues in Pennsylvania. They're looking at venues like all over the place. And I'm like, okay, well, I hope y'all got me a hotel room because I'm like, I got to go to Pennsylvania for the venue. But it's interesting how their lives like and change and stuff. So, but I don't think any of like when I'm looking at my kids, I don't see any rescue me's and stuff.
Really?
Well, I'm happy with
what
my kids are doing. I'm proud of
What
them.
does that mean again?
I'm not going to rescue you. And you don't need to be rescued by someone else.
Hey.
Yeah, very nice and strong.
I tried to rescue my kids. They don't want me rescuing
That's
them.
funny.
Okay,
I don't
that's
blame
so funny.
them.
They
That's
don't.
hilarious.
They don't.
I don't blame
I tried
them.
to. No, in all seriousness, I'm
funny,
being
though.
honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need Mom, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm like, oh my gosh, they really are on their own. I'm like, good for you.
You
know
did a
what I
good
mean?
job.
Right.
Give yourself a
But
pat
that's
on the
just
back.
it. You've done such a good job that they can look
I'm very
at you and
proud
say,
of them.
Mom, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Boy, that shuts her up, doesn't it?
No, because it's
Big
about
time.
Mom growing up now. That's what's happening.
Yes,
Right
now
here,
you have
right
to
now. I
rescue
know.
yourself.
I know. No, we're not rescuing. Remember that.
But you're rescuing
Remember
yourself.
that.
Or
I
are
feel
you
like it's
or
a-
are you whining and dining
No, I
yourself?
feel like it's a rescue.
No, we
Whipping
went to
yourself.
wine and dine self, right?
What's
We're
that?
supposed to be self-love.
I feel like that's a rescue, personally,
Mhm.
for my own self. Not
when you're working to rescue yourself.
yes.
Because we do when you really think
Because
about
I'm
it.
coming to my rescue.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not saying that like, look, I'm going to put myself first. That's how I'm going to be right now. And but it doesn't mean that I'm going to do it in ego. I worked hard. I did rescue myself. I journaled. I meditated. I really looked at, honestly, heartbreakingly looked at myself and my life and knew, then what I had to redo. I had to redo it. I had to rechange it. I had to restructure it. And I had to get rid of the old me, and that's what we were talking earlier about, development and stuff. And it's not fun, but you do. So you are rescuing yourself, because somebody else has done something to you that mentally and emotionally has gotten to you. So that person, since they have done that damage to you, they're never going to come rescue you. So you have to rescue yourself.
Yep.
Quiet on the set.
Ain't nothing to say to
Does that go?
Bam!
Right?
Snap.
Right.
Mind blown.
So think about it, because everybody has something within their mind that they hold on to so much that someone has either called them a name, somebody has pushed them, somebody has taken something, somebody has, whatever it may be, and it's still there. And as you start walking out your door, all of a sudden something catches your eyes and it's like, boom, right back to that thought, that emotion, that trauma, abuse, and or those words, just those words, Linda was in Paris, and you're in Paris, and you said, you guys were enjoying the sweet treats, right? And somebody happened to call from the side of the sidewalk. They sat there and said what?
They called my daughter a gourmand.
A gourmand?
A gourmand.
Gourmand?
That's
which
like
means
that's a very. It's worse than being a pig. You're.
It's slander.
Greed,
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Right.
And that
So-
was their crap, I'm sure. But
That was their crap, and shame on them, because you're out enjoying yourself. You're with your daughter. You guys are, you're getting into sweet treats and everything, and you're having such a good time. So how do we know later that your daughter might sit there and be eating something the same way, and there's going to be something that triggers her, brings her back to that, So she has to rescue herself to sit there and say, well, I'm not the worst, a pig or worse. That person was, to have the audacity to think that they could say something like that to me and ruin my time. But they didn't ruin it, did they?
She enjoyed everybody.
Right.
Good.
She enjoyed all of it. Right. Because, you just turn around and just keep nibbling. Nom, 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 nom. That's right.
It's true. It's almost like when you're, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of people with this waiting for that I'm sorry email or I'm sorry letter. They're going to figure it out and make you feel better. And it's not going to happen.
A Dear John letter?
A letter like to say all the things that
I'm
happened.
sorry.
I'm really sorry. I'm taking the time. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you're right. You have to figure out a way to let it go.
Hey, I've gotten a few of those calls.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have broke up with you. And that's when I'm like...
Yeah, we'll do that on another show, man.
Sucks
That's
to be
right.
you. Click.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm sorry too, because guess what? You're a blah, 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 a girl wrong, right? And
I remember that.
wrong.
I'm gonna put that in my back pocket and I'm gonna pull it out.
And I am amazing, right?
That's right.
So I've rescued myself. I love myself, and I am moving up. Moving
on up.
That's right. So it's all about rescuing. And do you really need to be rescued, or do you need to rescue yourself? Are you ready for love? Where's your faith? Right? Mm-hmm. Where's your love for self?
Faith's a big one.
Yeah. So don't put the rescue me energies out there unless you're putting them towards yourself and you're rescuing yourself. Just understand that you are nothing but love and unconditional love. And I love you, and I love you, and I love you guys out there, and I love you guys too, right?
Yeah.
Love you.
So thanks for joining us here at Girl Talk at Spirit Talk Time, and until next time,
Thank you.
angel hugs.